The Titanic killed 1,500 people. We built museums for it. We made films. We named it the worst maritime disaster in history. It was not even close. These are the maritime disasters history forgot, some by accident, some on purpose. 7 shipwrecks, combined death toll, over 30,000 people. Number 7, the Halifax explosion, December 6, 1917. Halifax, Nova Scotia, was one of the most important Allied ports of the First World War. Supply ships, troop transports, and munitions vessels moved through its narrow harbor every day. On the morning of December 6th, the French cargo vessel Mont Blanc was carrying nearly 3,000 tons of high explosives, TNT, picric acid, and benzol, into the harbor. The Mont Blanc collided with a Norwegian vessel, the Emo. A fire broke out on deck. For 20 minutes, people gathered on the shore to watch. Then the Mont Blanc detonated. The blast was the largest man-made explosion in history before the atomic bomb. It flattened 2 square kilometers of Halifax. Approximately 2,000 people were killed instantly. 9,000 more were injured. A blizzard struck the city the following day, burying the survivors in the wreckage. Halifax rebuilt. The explosion is remembered there, almost nowhere else. Number 6, the SS Sultana, April 27, 1865. The Civil War had just ended. Abraham Lincoln had been shot 5 days earlier. The entire country's attention was fixed on Washington. In that same week, a Mississippi River steamboat called the Sultana was carrying more than 2,300 passengers, mostly Union soldiers just released from Confederate prison camps. The ship's boilers had a known leak, repaired hastily days before departure. At 2 in the morning north of Memphis, all 4 boilers exploded simultaneously. The ship burned and sank within minutes. Men who had survived Confederate prison camps died in the Mississippi River in the dark. Approximately 1,800 people died, more than on the Titanic, proportionally speaking. The story was buried on the inside pages of newspapers consumed by Lincoln's funeral. The Sultana remains the deadliest maritime disaster in American history. Most Americans have never heard of it. Number 5, the MV Doña Paz, December 20th, 1987. In the Philippines, inter-island ferries are how people travel. In December, they carry families heading home for Christmas. The Doña Paz was licensed for around 1,500 passengers. On December 20th, she carried an estimated 4,000, many without official tickets. At around 10 in the evening, she collided with the Vector, an oil tanker carrying 8,000 barrels of petroleum. Both ships ignited. The sea around the ships became a burning surface of fuel. Both vessels sank within 2 hours. Rescue ships found only 24 survivors. The Vector's crew were found to have been drinking. Neither ship had a functioning radio operator on watch. The Doña Paz had no passenger manifest. The true death toll was never established. They call it the Asian Titanic, but the Titanic had a passenger list. Number 4, the La Jula, September 26, 2002. La Jula was the Senegalese government ferry connecting the southern region of Casamance to the capital, Dakar. For many, it was the only affordable way to travel. On the evening of September 26th, the Jula sailed into a heavy Atlantic storm. She was carrying almost twice her official capacity of 500 passengers. The ferry capsized. It rolled onto its side and sank in under 5 minutes. Most passengers were trapped below decks in the dark. 1,863 people died. 64 survived. More people died on the Jula than on the Titanic. The ferry had been banned from service by the Senegalese Navy the year before due to structural deficiencies. It had been quietly returned to operation. No government minister was ever prosecuted. The hull remains on the ocean floor off the Gambian coast. Number 3, the RMS Lancastria, June 17, 1940. Dunkirk had just ended. Britain had evacuated 300,000 soldiers from the beaches. It was presented as a miracle. But hundreds of thousands more British troops were still in France. Operation Ariel was the less celebrated second evacuation, and it involved the Lancastria. German bombers attacked the convoy off St. Nazaire. The Lancastria took 4 direct hits and sank in under 20 minutes. Between 4,000 and 5,000 people died. Some estimates place the toll above 6,000. The true number was never established because no accurate manifest existed. Winston Churchill suppressed all reporting of the disaster. He issued a D notice, a government censorship order, banning any mention in the press. Britain could not absorb another blow so soon after Dunkirk. The suppression lasted decades. Survivors were ordered not to speak of it. Many took the story to their graves. Number 2, the SS Cap Arcona, May 3, 1945. The war in Europe was 8 days from ending. Allied forces were advancing into Germany. The SS held one last secret. As concentration camps were liberated, the SS forced survivors onto ships in Lübeck Bay. The Cap Arcona alone held approximately 5,000 concentration camp prisoners. On May 3rd, RAF Typhoon and Thunderbolt aircraft attacked the ships in Lübeck Bay. British intelligence had been warned the ships might carry concentration camp survivors. The attack proceeded. The Cap Arcona burned and capsized. Survivors who reached the shore were shot by SS guards patrolling the beach. Around 7,000 prisoners died across the ships in the bay that afternoon. They had survived the camps. They survived the marches. They died 8 days before liberation. A British military inquiry concluded it was a tragic case of mistaken targeting. No aircrew were prosecuted. Number 1, the Wilhelm Gustloff, January 30th, 1945. By January 1945, the Eastern Front had collapsed. The Soviet Red Army was advancing rapidly through East Prussia. 2 million German civilians were fleeing west toward the Baltic ports. The Wilhelm Gustloff had been a luxury cruise liner before the war. In January 1945, she was loaded with wounded soldiers, naval personnel, and civilians, an estimated 10,600 people. Soviet submarine S-13, under the command of Captain Alexander Marinesco, tracked the ship through a blizzard. At 9 in the evening, Marinesco fired 3 torpedoes. All 3 torpedoes struck. The ship sank in 45 minutes in water below 0 degrees. Most of those who entered the sea did not survive it. Approximately 9,400 people died, the most in any maritime disaster in recorded history. The Titanic killed 1,500. This was 6 times that. The reason it is forgotten is simple. The victims were German, the war was ending, the victors wrote the history. 30,000 people, 7 disasters, most of them forgotten within a generation. History does not lose these stories by accident. It loses them because someone decided they were inconvenient, or because a larger event simply drowned them out. Subscribe if you want the story's history left behind.